Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to get to a variety of topics, but this first topic, Tesla is ending the $249 special, the special that is only on the Tesla Model 3. They've put an end date on it, which is coming up by the end or the first week of the next month. So let's take a look at it and talk about, is this even a good deal or not? And maybe talk about some of the Model 3 deals that we're also seeing as well. So we're going to get into that, plus a variety of topics. But before we do that, let's roll that intro really quick. All right, so thanks for watching another stream. Thanks for watching another video. My name is Dennis, and I love talking about Tesla deal hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested, and definitely check out my Patreon link down below in the description where you can support the channel and get access to the ultimate Tesla buying guide out there with all the best interest rates for financing a new or used Tesla. And if you have a question, you want to send me a DM, you can send it in the Patreon link down below in the description. And today's live stream is partnered with Mint Mobile, where you can save money on your mobile phone plan for as low as $15 a month, but more on that later. So breaking, Tesla, the US market here is killing the $249 special on the Tesla Model 3. The leasing special for the Tesla Model 3 that gets as low as $249 a month on specifically the Model 3 long range rear wheel drive. And we'll show a couple different vehicles that we found is the best discount. And really, is this a good deal? I mean, yes, it's the lowest payment that you can get on a Tesla vehicle. They dropped it by $50 a month. So I would imagine they are just going to bring it right back to $299. And are they doing this? Because I was thinking about this the other day, right? Maybe Tesla, they can't just run a 0% offer or like a 1 to 3% offer, 2.99, 1.99 all the time, right? Because then it loses its luster. And so maybe they have to alternate different times of each month or quarters. And so maybe like this beginning of the first quarter, they're running like a lease special for the first 2 months. And then now for the end of March, because it's the last month of the quarter, maybe they run like a finance special because they know more people want to finance at the end of the day and more people want a lower interest rate, a subsidized interest rate on a Tesla vehicle. So I'm interested to see what type of data they have as like the take rate. I mean, every time we run polls on the channel, I feel like the majority of you are looking to buy a Tesla and not lease a Tesla. But now that you can do a lease buyout, it's not as bad as like wasting your money anymore as like a rental, because you could buy it out at the end of the day. But Model 3, $249 a month, it is going to be ending on March 3rd. And actually, the Model 3 rear-wheel drive, if you lease it, is one of the worst leases that you can get from the Tesla fleet if you were to kind of stack them up against each other. We've got on our deal spreadsheet down below in the description if you want to see these for yourself. We actually found that the Model 3 long-range rear-wheel drive has a lease interest rate of 5.93%. So it's almost the same as like financing a Tesla vehicle at 5.99%. The best Model 3 across the board for leasing is going to be the Model 3 long range all-wheel drive that has an interest rate of 3%. If you flip it to the Model Y side, the long range rear-wheel drive has an interest rate of 2.3%, and you can see the performance is a terrible lease, but kind of interesting because the Model Y performance does usually have big discounts, and the interest rate on it is 9.38%. And if you're wondering what this a lonely 10.9% here is at the bottom, and that is actually the launch edition at 10.9% financing interest rate. And actually, we confirmed this yesterday because someone actually sent us a DM with the finance details for leasing. And yes, the launch edition is 10.9%, which is a terrible lease. And thank you to Kevin for sending us a DM on the lease details on that. But let's jump into the deals because yes, it's posted on Tesla's website. $249 a month lease is ending on March 3rd. March 3rd is a kind of an interesting day. I mean, why not just end it on like the last day of the month? But maybe because it has something to do with like the fiscal year or something like that with that. But definitely very interesting. And so is this causing you to try and get into a Tesla vehicle sooner than later. Is this the deal you want, that low lease payment, or are you waiting for something else? Because, looking at some Model 3 deals, this is like the best one we found. Model 3 long range all-wheel drive, $3,460 off. Long range all-wheel drive, $2,600 off. Here's another all-wheel drive, $2,580 off. Here's a rear-wheel drive, $2,360 off, and another rear-wheel drive, $1,780 off. And the beauty with these is that this is before the Tesla referral code, just like the one down below in the description, where you can save $500 to $2,500 off of a Tesla vehicle. But we can see right now the best deal on like a Model 3 is about $3,500 off. Model Y is typically going to be a lot better of a discounted vehicle, but also because that's the vehicle that's exiting stage left as the new Model Y launch series begins to get into delivery and production and everything. But let us know what your thoughts on it. Let us know what you're thinking. Have you been wanting that $249 a month payment? And I really would not put it past Tesla to play games anymore. It really feels like, when they say something is ending, it definitely is ending. I'm reflecting back on in December when they said 0% was ending on December 15th. They actually took it away and did not bring it back at all. And so they are they're making more plans about their incentives, and they're actually killing it and ending it when it says it's going to be ending. And so certainly I don't imagine a 249 might come back, at least not for a long time. You got to think Tesla works in quarters here. And so the end of the first quarter, usually we see their best deal. Then it'll be the second quarter. So June, then September, the third quarter, and then finally December, which is always going to be the best deal of the year, is going to be the last month. But actually even last year, it was like November, December timeframe. So if you're looking to get the ultimate best deal and you can be patient and you can wait, then of course that would be the time to wait all the way till the end of the year. So you've been shopping for a Tesla recently, but the monthly payment has probably got you rethinking your budget. Instead of sacrificing and cutting back on a brand new Tesla and getting your dream car, why not save on your monthly phone bill? And that's where our partner Mint Mobile comes into play here. We've also been thinking about getting a new Tesla, and constantly I like looking at our bills, monthly subscriptions, trying to see where we can cut back. Things like Netflix, YouTube Premium, and much more. And that's where I've been able to save on my monthly phone plan by going to Mint Mobile. Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for just $15 a month, and you can get high-speed data and unlimited talk and text on the nation's largest 5G network. You can bring your own phone along with your current number and existing contacts. It's really easy to switch service thanks to digital eSIM cards, which most of you now have. You can sign up and activate immediately right on your phone from the comfort of your home. If your phone doesn't have an eSIM, Mint will ship you a new SIM card for free, and it only takes 15 minutes. As you guys know, we've been traveling a lot pretty recently, so using Mint Mobile's mobile hotspot with our laptop has been pretty crucial and a game changer. So if you want to save money without the sacrifice, go to trymintmobile.com/DennisCW, also linked in the description, to get premium wireless starting at $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan. Thank you to Mint Mobile for partnering with us, and let's get on to the next topic. Thanks for that, everyone. Blueberry, thanks for coming in. Crypto, great to see you. Lucas, great to see you. Lucas, what announcement do you have today? Is the Model 2 coming out? 007, thanks for coming in. Victic, great to see you. Rich, thank you for coming in as well. If you're just joining in, welcome. $249 a month is ending. And now I'm curious, what about the Model Y special? Because the Model Y also has a decent payment as well, right? But certainly maybe they're going to be adjusting. They're going to be adjusting a lot of things in these next couple months. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see as the old and busted Model Y exit stage left with all the different deals and everything. Another quick channel announcement. We've signed up to go to Tesla Corsa. If you don't know what Tesla Corsa, it is a beginner's day, maybe even an intermediate, advanced, 3 different levels if you're interested in it. But it's basically a track day where you can take your Tesla with instructors, a bunch of people, whether it's beginners or advanced, on a track in California. It's in Buttonwillow, so about an hour to 2 hours north from Los Angeles. So if you've ever wanted to, I'm a first-time goer, beginner, and we're going. And so if you want to meet up and check it out with us, it's going to be fun to go through all the different trials and tribulations with tracking a Tesla, because I don't think I've ever been tracked a Tesla ever at all, and let alone with a Model 3 Performance, which is going to be one of the fastest Tesla vehicles that you can bring out there. So really cool to be able to do that. So if you're interested in going, definitely check out that link, and we'll see you there. In this next topic, big news. Now you can test drive a Tesla Model Y, the new Model Y, the Juniper Model Y. Test drives are beginning to roll out today. Shout out to Cheap Teslas for posting this. Breaking new Model Y launch series demo drives are starting to roll out today, beginning in Texas. First location with the opportunity is The Domain in Austin, Texas. Of course, this is just one post, but yesterday we saw a post. I think Charles posted it and commented on one of our previous videos. He said that in the Kansas City area on February 15th, they were going to be able to drive that vehicle, or the Model Y Juniper, as well. And so certainly we're going to start to see this all over the place. And this makes a ton of sense because yesterday we talked about there was a bunch of Model Ys on the lot at Giga Texas, or the other day, how US production has begun. But it was kind of weird because a lot of those were like base Model Ys. And now it makes sense because those Model Ys are not only going, they're not going to customers at all. They were actually going to be going to showrooms so that people can test drive the vehicles. And that makes a ton of sense because if you think about it, Tesla wants to probably get the Model Ys into showrooms so that they can get more visibility, get more excitement, and ultimately get more orders. Quote from Gregor, all those Ys you saw at Giga Texas were Tesla display units. Get ready to drive your Tesla Model 3. So let us know if your local Tesla store, if you were able to do a test drive. Actually, I want to know, what were your thoughts on it? Was it comfortable? Was it not? Is it something that I want to know, how did it compare to your older Tesla? Because I've been thinking about this recently, and it kind of feels like a lot of people getting into a Tesla Model Y are first-time owners. And look at this. I posted a poll. Model Y Juniper order holders or soon-to-be order holders. Is this your first Tesla? And 61% out of 90 votes said yes, it actually is, and 39% said that it's actually their second Tesla or changing from a different Tesla. And so, wow, that's pretty interesting to see that the majority of new owners are coming to the Tesla brand because of the new Model Y Juniper. So really cool to see. Let us know what your thoughts are. Let us know what you're thinking. I mean, we're going to start to see more and more posts like this where production is slowly coming out of the factories like Giga Texas. Shout out to Joe. We're constantly flying his drone over the Texas factory, and so we can see what is going on in those different areas. Another update on the adaptive headlights that are coming onto the new Tesla as well. If you are curious, if you're older Tesla, because the adaptive headlight LED is actually in other models as well. I think the current Model Y actually has that same type of bulb and LED as well. But Lars actually said, we got it this time. We'll start with the new Model Y and work our way to other models. We got through the difficult work. So really cool to see, because that's one thing. Like when you're driving around and the LED is shining bright, I really wish all vehicles had the adaptive headlight design with the LEDs, because these headlights that we're seeing these days are super duper bright when you're driving all over the place. But let us know what your thoughts on it. Let us know what you're thinking. We're going to jump into the next topic. So congrats on buying your Tesla, or you're about to just buy your Tesla. But now here's the second most exciting part. That's accessories. And there's a ton of accessories out there, probably even way too much. And I try and bucket it into the top 3 accessories that you can get. And that's going to be phone mounts, all-weather floor mounts, and center consoles. A good set of all-weather floor mounts is probably my #1 recommendation. And I've got a bunch of links and discount codes to all the accessories that I recommend down below in the description and on our best deal spreadsheet on page 2. Check out this one from Jawa that we use on all of our Teslas, linked down below, or their center console, which I also use on all of our Teslas as well. A must-have because Tesla doesn't come with a center console. But my #1 accessory I recommend is going to be all-weather floor mats, and I bucket it from 3 different options: good, better, and best. The good ones are going to be the ones that you find on Amazon. Better is going to be the ones from like Tasmanian. But my favorite, all-time favorite that we have on our Model X and Model 3 Performance currently is going to be a set of all-weather floor mats by 3W Liners. If you use our promo code down below in the description, you'll find that the price of these floor mats are pretty in line with some of the other ones at a much higher quality material. So thank you to everybody that's used our links to support the channel, and let's get on to the next topic. Thanks to everyone. And on top of that, we're trying a new thing. So if you've got a question or a bunch of Tesla questions and you want to submit a video to be on the show, definitely here it is. I posted in the link in the live stream chat. You can go ahead and submit the video to this form, and then we'll play it live and answer all your questions live. Because I got to think, like, if you've got a couple set of questions, there's probably a lot of people out there watching that have the same question as well. So if you're interested in being on definitely record a quick video and submit it on so that we can play it live for everyone. But let's see what else we got. Some questions. 007, it's looking like EV incentive will be killed soon since 16 Republican senators introduced the bill last week. Yeah, we've got a new tracker on this. It's right here because the one yesterday was a little bit different. So I'll go ahead and post this into the live stream chat. This seems to be the newest tracker with the 541, or maybe, yeah, our internal revenue code to repeal the credit for new clean vehicles. So we'll have to just wait and see what happens. But it's seeming like that if you want to bank on this, because we were kind of hesitant, like, do we get the Model Y launch series or launch edition or not? Do we just gamble with the non-launch? But then if you gamble with that, maybe the 7,500 goes away as well. And so it's a little bit of a lose-lose. So we figured we'd just go ahead and just jump in. Have you seen anyone with a VIN on Juniper? I still don't have one. Lucas, yeah, it's weird. I have not seen a single person. I mean, on X, people are posting that someone got a VIN, but I think it was all a glitch. And because one person said that they got a VIN and they paid, but haven't seen anything yet. And then another person in Dallas said that they've got a delivery date or a delivery date range as soon as February 15th, but I haven't heard anything about that yet either. And so I feel like a lot of it, I wonder how those estimated delivery dates, like if there's someone actually manning that or it's all algorithmic and computer rhythmic. And I bet it actually is, and that's why it fluctuates so much. Rich, the inventory sitting in Chicagoland area, Model 3 sitting for the past month. Yeah, it seems like there's a variety of different areas and where there's a lot of inventory sitting around. I've heard of the treats the other Tesla owners are getting about selling their vehicles. Did you get targeted? If not, thank goodness. No, I haven't got targeted yet. But yeah, I've seen about all those different vandalisms of like Cybertrucks, Tesla vehicles. It's unfortunate for sure. Lucas, Juniper in the US. My first. Okay, Lucas, interesting. So that is very interesting to see that it's a lot of people's first Tesla getting into the Juniper. I guess it really is, because I really feel like there's also a lot of customers returning back to the brands like Tesla. But I mean, that's good to see that the Juniper is bringing a lot of excitement to bring newcomers to the brand as well. Jeep Life, thanks for coming in. Can you lease the X to get the tax credit and buy it out and keep the supercharging offer? Also get inventory discount, referral, and military. Jeep. So yes, you can lease the X and buy it out. I would imagine the supercharging stays on it because it's not like you change ownership, but I don't know. Actually, that's a good question, because you would imagine if the Tesla vehicle doesn't change like hands within the app, then the supercharging should stay, but that's a little bit of a risk. I'm not confident because technically you are changing owners like from DMV title to DMV title, but you're not changing owners within the Tesla app. And so I would imagine free supercharging stays, because free supercharging stays to like the email address on the account that the Tesla has within the Tesla account. And so I would imagine it stays the same, but a little bit risky for sure. Inventory discount plus referral and military. Yes, you definitely can. And if anybody's watching needs a Tesla referral code, just like the one down below in the description, you can use our referral code to get $500 to $2,500 off of a Tesla vehicle. In this next topic, Tesla is canceling Model Y orders. And of course, this is the older Model Y, not in the US, thankfully, but still very interesting to see this happening in other markets. Sawyer posted this. Tesla has started to canceling the legacy Model Y all-wheel drive orders in the UK due to exceptional demand. Sure, I'll believe that. The Model Y all-wheel drive is also no longer available to order in the UK website. Here's a text message from Tesla, or allegedly from Tesla, to the customer. Due to exceptional demand, we are unable to fulfill your Model Y long-range all-wheel drive order. To enable delivery, we have updated your order to a rear-wheel drive. This trim offers greater range at lower prices. As a gesture of goodwill, we are offering your leasing company enhanced pricing for your benefit. To prove, please contact your leasing company directly. Very interesting to see that they changed that. And I would imagine I would not be a happy camper if I was going to be wanting an all-wheel drive, because obviously I want an all-wheel drive for other reasons, and to be switched to a rear-wheel drive, I'm not sure that would jive, unless of course the discount or deal or whatever it is, the lower price would be a much substantially better price. But very interesting to see. And maybe because the UK line has already shut off their long range production, like the Giga Berlin, because I think that's where they come from, or maybe they come from the US, or maybe because like wherever the Model Ys they're getting it from has already shut down the production line for whichever it is. But let us know what your thoughts on it. Let us know what you're thinking. We're going to jump into the live stream comments. Cry more, Matrix. Nice. Mr. G, base Cybertruck is needed ASAP. Yes, 100%. And I would guess that's going to be a Q3 thing. When is our delivery for the launch series? It's going to be in March. We're fingers crossed it comes sooner, but we'll see. U-Town, I mentioned yesterday I will be picking up my busted Model Y tomorrow. Do you think the interest rates will be get better than 4.96? I got the Quicksilver white interior. I would think so. Best case scenario, of course, it goes to 0% for the Model Y, and maybe that happens in March. So a little bit tough. I mean, you probably have a pretty good discount. I think you told us yesterday of like a $4,000 discount. And so I would really kind of do the math. Like, A, are you going to be keeping that loan U-Town all the way to the 60 to 72 months? Because then, yes, there is a financial cost to that as well. I would do the math on that. But at the same time, like let's say you are going to be keeping it all the way, or you're going to be, let's say you're going to be paying it off in like 3 to 4 months. 3 to 4 years, then of course there's a amount of interest on that at 5% that you're going to pay 3 to 4 years. And you take a little bit of a risk by forfeiting potentially that inventory discount of 4 to 5,000. But at the same time, in December, we saw both. We saw big discounts and we saw a nice interest rate. And so a little bit of a gamble, but I do feel like interest rates will get better than 4.99 but how much? We don't know. And when? We also don't know as well. I would imagine by March we see some sort of interest rate decrease, but at the same time, it could be as late as June, because June is really when the new Model Y will really start to ramp up in terms of production. And I imagine a non-launch series will be around at that same time. And if they are delivering a non-launch and the old one, they're going to really want to get rid of the old one because it's just sitting ducks at that point. And so a little bit of a hard decision and what I would recommend. Chris, my local Tesla store told me today deliveries are happening in March for launch and also getting their demo too. Very cool to see. Yeah, deliveries are happening in March for the launch edition, as Tesla has stated. And I really like Tesla's move here, because typically I really feel like they would set a time frame and then maybe miss it. I like how they set a time frame that deliveries are happening in March, and we're seeing plenty of people with delivery date ranges into February all the way to March. So really cool to see Tesla switching their strategy in that aspect. This next topic, insurance. Insurance for your Tesla. It's going to be more expensive, we'll give it that. But let's talk about it a little bit and explain what are maybe some of the best rates out there and what are some people paying on Tesla or insurance for their Tesla. Shout out to Tesla Roddy for posting this. Which Tesla model do you drive and how much do you pay for insurance, and who is your provider? I'm going to give you my recommendations on what insurance providers to actually go with. And I'll tell you, before even looking at it down below, I bet the average is $150 to $250 a month for insurance, especially Tesla insurance. But let's take a look at it. So 66-year-old divorced male, Florida, 2024 Model Y, long range, they pay, $1383 a month for 6 months. So what is that? Quick math, $202 a month. And so yes, USAA, very interesting. I've heard USAA is more expensive, but very interesting to see. I'll give you my recommendations at the end of this. 2023 Tesla Model Y Performance with Tesla insurance, $97 a month. Now that is a very, very, very nice rate. I would love a rate like that on a Tesla Model Y. Cybertruck, $95 a month. Okay, it looks like my estimate was a little bit high. 2023 Model Y is actually more for some reason at $120 a month. With State Farm, wow, $95 a month with State Farm. I've never seen a Cybertruck insurance rate that was low as $95. Cybertruck's $2,000 a year, which if we do quick math on that, that's going to be $173 a month, which is right. A Model Y long range, $1,350 a year, which is about $120 a month. So that makes sense as well. Model Y and 2024 Cyber Beast last 6 months was $2,047 for both vehicles, which is $341 a month, but that's two vehicles. So actually not bad as well. I'll tell you from our current setup right now, we're paying about $180 per vehicle, but we're also in a high cost of living area. And so that's really what it is. Progressive, $2,200 a year. It's about $200 a month, but three Teslas. Hey, this is a fantastic quote. And hats off to Zephyr for being able to get three vehicles for around under $200 a month. That is very, very, very impressive. Nationwide, $9 a month for a Model S. Hey, that's not bad at all. $355 a month for a 2020 Model 3 with Geico. Oh, okay, that's two vehicles, 2020 Model 3 and a 2021 Model Y Performance with Geico. And so that makes a lot of sense. I mean, really, you're going to pay anywhere from $150 to $250 per vehicle. Of course, higher on the $250 range if you are younger. And of course, if you've got like a performance or variant or something like that. 2021 Model 3 long range State Farm, $247 for two cars, just went up from $209. And so let's get into my recommendations. First is if you can get Tesla insurance, it's not in every state, then that will be your low cost provider. Hands down, they always beat out everybody. The next one is if you can get Costco in your state. We've got Costco currently. Thankfully, we were able to get back in before they left California, but Costco also is one of the lower cost providers, at least from what I've seen, compared to the other ones. And the last one is if you're in California, it's San Diego and LA market, or I guess all over California, Wawa Nisa. We had them for a brief period of time, really enjoyed it, and also they had decent rates as well. And so those are my top three recommendations for insurance. Let us know what vehicles do you have and how much do you pay, and more importantly, what state are you in? If you want to disclose your age as well, I would love to hear that so we can help other people figure out how much they're going to be paying for insurance for their Tesla vehicle. But we're going to jump into the live stream comments. Does the UK get their cars from Shanghai? River, great question. I think they get it from the US, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe Giga Berlin. Knock, debating between Juniper Y and Cybertruck. That is an interesting separation or putting those two together. I mean, both are great, but I mean, they're also different prices as well. I mean, if you're paying, yeah, actually, that's an interesting one because right now, Juniper is $60K, hands down. No way to swing that. But Cybertruck, I guess, is $72K. So yeah, you're not paying that much more, especially if you can get, I mean, we did see some discounts like $4,000 to $6,000 off, but now I'm just curious, like what's like the cheapest you can get a Cybertruck with a discount unless it already disappeared? A lot of these, probably the discounted ones are already gone. Unless you lease it, I guess, because then leasing would get the $7,500. So $4,000 off, $480 off, let's see, $470 and $370. So I guess this one, if you leased it, you did the buyout, you don't get the full $7,500, you get $6,500. You get the referral code, just like the one down below in the oh, you can't lease this one because, yeah, I guess not every discounted demo vehicle you can lease either. So that's unfortunate. But wait, it said, wait, what? It's right. I checked the lease and then it gave me this vehicle. So maybe you can lease it? A little bit of a glitch here on the website. But yeah, I mean, I guess if you could lease this one and get the 7,500 and then you buy it out, that would mean the price of this would be around 63K. And so that is a tough one because if you look at it that way, the Model Y Juniper Launch Edition and the Cybertruck is kind of the same price. And I would say get the Cybertruck hands down because it is way more vehicle than a Model Y Juniper will ever be. More comfortable air suspension, more utility, more room, bigger battery, not as good range, maybe about the same actually. Crypto, would you gamble? Buy a 2014 Model S that brings unlimited supercharging for about 15 to 16K. That's an interesting one because yes, there definitely is a lot of those cheaper vehicles in those price ranges, and they are definitely pretty appetizing. I don't know if I would get a Model S. I mean, certainly it is a heavy ride. You do get a lot of features. I would probably want to get like a Model 3 instead because it is probably in the same range and there's just less things to break Crypto Zero in that type of version. But either way, with like a Model S or a Model 3 at that type of age, I mean, certainly it is, very appetizing with like the prices and everything. But if you're going to be buying one of these cheaper, low cost, high mileage Tesla vehicles like this 2020 Tesla Model 3 for $10,000 or this Model S for also $10,000, I strongly recommend some sort of warranty. And that's where our channel partner Amber comes into play. Amber is a month-to-month warranty for your Tesla. And unlike those other companies that will charge you $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 upfront, Amber is month-to-month. Think of Amber like AppleCare, but instead of for your iPhone, it's for your Tesla vehicle. They've got three different types of packages right now: Basics, Essentials, and Premium. Basic starts at $65 a month, so definitely check out Amber down below in the description. Use our link to get a no obligation quote for month-to-month coverage on your Tesla. You can see that Amber does have some benefits over the Tesla service warranty as well. So definitely thank you to Amber for partnering with us, and let's get on to the next topic. Thanks to everyone. Pretty crazy knocked. Yes, thanks for coming in. Edward, I drive 20 to 25K a year. How much extra does it cost per mile if I go over the 15,000 miles? Or is it just not worth it for me to lease a car? It's about 25 cents a mile if I'm not mistaken. It's about the same either way at the end of the day because you're basically, if when you finance a vehicle, you're taking on all the depreciation. But if you lease it, then Tesla's kind of taking on that depreciation. But of course, you're paying that extra mileage. And so it depends on your horizon. Like, are you going to be keeping the vehicle? Because if you buy it and you put 25,000 miles in 2 years, then you're going to be left with a 2-year-old car with 50K miles that's out of warranty. And then you have to either keep it and keep going on, maybe get a warranty on it, or do you sell it and get out of it? And so it really just depends on what type of person you are. And do you keep cars for a long period of time, or do you go through cars every 3 to 5 years? And if you do, then maybe leasing and just paying the extra mileage penalty and getting out of it into a new one is a better option at the end of the day. In this next topic, there was a bunch of new updates that dropped in the Tesla app, including a Robotaxi code that has appeared in the app as well. And so it seems like Tesla is on their way for preparation for the Robotaxi that's about to be starting with their service in Austin, Texas. Tesla apps posted this. I'm thrilled to announce the very first lines of Robotaxi codes are here. The first endpoint implemented as a feedback screen that allows users to rate the cleanliness of the vehicle and upload photos. Endpoint is named Rides Feedback Upload. Very cool to see, and maybe this is more of a reality than it is going to be because Robotaxi, they are going to be starting their services in Austin, Texas very soon, and we've got some renderings from Nick for maybe even food delivery or parcel delivery. I mean, most likely they'll be starting with people delivery first or people rides, but really cool to see. There's other updates that are coming for the Tesla vehicles. The other day we talked about in-cabin radar, like using 4D radar to track people inside for whether like if there's different safety features like airbags exploding or airbags going off or not exploding. But certainly it seems like that's going to be a retrofittable feature. So if you want your in-car camera or your in-car sensing system to be updated so that it can watch you while you're driving around, maybe you can get this on your older Tesla vehicle. It says they actually said was pre-built. The 2025 Model Ys, your Model Y was pre-built with the necessary hardware, allowing Tesla to bring this technology to your vehicle. I mean, the one thing is for sure, it'll most likely make your vehicle safer if in case of an accident or anything like that. Another Tesla update 4.42.2 or point 0 is now available for a download. They changed redesigned charger pins to match the in-car UI and phone number verification. I guess if you want to add like two-factor telephone factoration or factor on your Tesla app as well. But really cool to see some of the different updates that are coming out for Tesla vehicles. I want to try a Robotaxi, and maybe they said it's going to be June. So maybe we make a trip down to Austin after that to get into a Robotaxi. I got 5.1K off and I'll be buying it out. So then if you're buying it out cash, then really it doesn't matter on the financing, right? Unless you're going to be holding it for a good amount of time and then buying it out afterwards. But I mean, unless you're financing it for a long period of time, then really the interest rate shouldn't matter at the end of the day. But if you're just joining in, welcome. Tesla is killing the $249 a month offer on the Tesla Model 3. We've got an end date of it, and that end date is March 3rd. So if you're interested in a low interest rate payment on the Model 3 rear-wheel drive, it is ending on March 3rd. And I wouldn't put it past Tesla. They have been sticking to their deadlines pretty recently. And so when they say it's going to be gone, it is going to be gone. But taking a look at the interest rate on the Model 3 rear-wheel drive, it's actually the worst interest rate. It's 5.93% on a lease. And so just keep that in mind as well. I would actually probably recommend getting a Model 3 long range all-wheel drive instead, because that's 3%, or even the Model Y long rear-wheel drive at 2.38%. That's a way better deal, even though the payment might not jive correctly at $249 a month. Are we going to be able to buy a Robotaxi? I mean, that's what they said. I mean, Elon said 2026, which is actually like next year. And I think he mentioned in that presentation, like, we're going to be able to buy a fleet of Robotaxis and have just a bunch of them drive all over for 30K. I mean, I'll see that when I'll believe that when I see it. But really cool concept, and maybe that's the future. Optimuses and Robotaxis taking over our lives, because it would be cool to have like one Robotaxi, like take me wherever and then drop me off and then go pick up someone else and then come back. And then it's just more efficient, right? Instead of a vehicle being parked in a parking lot waiting for X amount of hours until we're done with whatever we're doing. And this next topic, the 7,500 EV tax credit is at risk, but Ford's CEO has responded to that. The Ford CEO, Jim Farley, says factory jobs are at risk if Trump repeals the EV tax credit. Quote, we've already sunk capital, and even though we've rationalized it in battery production and assembly plants all through Ohio, Michigan, Kentucky, and Tennessee, and many of those jobs will be at risk if the IRA is repealed. There is a very underserved group of people actually running an EV is cheaper than an internal combustion engine product, but these very large EVs that cost $50, $60, $70,000, we do not believe that is the future. And that's why I really feel like I feel like the 7,500 really isn't going away, or if anything, it's just going to be more stricter, because the goal of the 7,500 EV tax credit when it was written is because they want manufacturing and EV electric vehicle production and battery production being brought to the US. And so now that these companies have listened to them and invested in building these factories here, for the government to kind of take away that 7,500, it's almost like it would really be bad for those companies that have invested that much into it. But let us know what your thoughts are. Let us know what you're thinking. It's good to see like other CEOs are trying to fight back essentially from the 7,500 disappearing. But I really feel like it's not going to go away completely, or if anything, there's going to be a phase out period like we saw in the past, or it's just going to be even more stricter, where there won't be like a lease buyout loophole, and it really have to be a vehicle that was produced and made in the US, and so that money kind of stays in-house at the end of the day. But let us know what your thoughts on it. Let us know what you're thinking. We're going to jump into the live stream comments, but thanks for jumping in, everybody. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for the like button in the comments, everything, and I'll see you guys in the next